Hey, welcome to Caleb's Basketball Pod. Lot catch up on this episode. There's been a lot going on in the NBA for the last few days. We're coming to you Thursday. Tonight is the last day of NBA games before the All-Star break starts up. And Friday's episode, when released and when dropped, I will preview our All-Star activities like our skills competition that has different teams in it, our three-point shootout, our dunk contest, our rookie sophomore challenge, our kind of tournament format games, our celebrity game even, and then of course the big one, the All-Star game in this new format. And I'll tell you which team I think will get it and go from there. But today, like I said, a lot going on the last few days. Dating back to, since our last episode, we saw the Luka and LeBron duo in Los Angeles. We saw them have their first game against the Utah Jazz, and we saw them beat the Jazz in their first game. Well, the second outing would be much like the first. It would be against the Utah Jazz. But the second outing was last night, and they lost to the Jazz. They lost by double digits to the Utah Jazz. And we only got like 14 points from Luka, 18 from LeBron. I most definitely think they need to get more production from Luka. I don't know if it's that maybe his calf hasn't fully healed yet. He was listed as probable before the game due to a calf injury. So maybe he's just not fully 100% yet. But it is interesting to see that a lot of talk in the second game they would drop one to the Utah Jazz. I don't know. Still think they need time and they need work to get there, but I do think, like, if you're the Lakers and you're worried about playoff positioning because you make these moves with a shot to, of course, win and compete for a championship, you have to win games against the Utah Jazz, especially when you have LeBron and Luka Doncic both playing, and they won a game without LeBron and Luka playing against the Pacers where Austin Reeves would have 45 points. So you need these games for playoff positioning. But speaking of the Lakers topic, I talked about the Mark Williams trade being rescinded. We spoke on that on the last pod. Well, now, that's saying Mark Williams does not want to rejoin this Hornets team. That he wants to get bought out and he wants to go to the Lakers. I'm not trying to tick off any Los Angeles Lakers fans when I say this, but I don't think if he gets bought out, he should be able to go to the Lakers. The fact that the Lakers rescinded the trade because they didn't feel he was physically good enough for this trade, I don't think it's fair that you should be able to rescind a trade, get all of your pieces back, and then sign the player that you rescinded a trade over. I think that should be somewhere along the lines of legal, because it seems like they're trying to do like try and have your cake and eat it too, kind of, so to speak. You have your pieces back now, and you're still eating on that same piece of cake. So I don't know. That's just my feeling on it. And like I said, not trying to waffle factors, but I think that should be kind of illegal because it seems like it's rigged to get your guys back and then get the player you traded for. If you wanted him and you were going to sign him, you should have just kept the trade going through, and at least Charlotte would have got something. That's why I feel like it feels like, to me, it's illegal, but I don't know. If the NBA allows it to happen, I guess it's fine. I just feel like it's kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, just like illegal, but hey, I don't know. After things that we on last night, we had some good games. We had the Celtics dominate the Spurs pretty much from start to finish. It looks like the Celtics are starting to find their groove as they head into the All-Star break. I also want to mention, speaking of All-Star real quick before I get into more games, I spoke on Trae Young replacing Giannis. Well deserved. But Anthony Davis got replaced by Kyrie Irving, also well-deserved. And speaking of Kyrie Irving, as we talk about games from last night, he put up 42 as his Dallas Mavericks beat for Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. So big game from him, and they got the big W and Big D. So that's nice. And Kyrie's going to need these games to keep Dallas afloat. We heard that Davis is out, could be up to a month, maybe longer. They're without Gafford for a few weeks. They're still without Derek Lively for a few months. I mean, Kyrie Irving needs to do what he can, but even scoring and doing what he can is not going to fix that. They went from having like 3 serviceable centers to not really having any on the roster just for a few weeks because of injuries, and that's tough luck. But Dallas has had that tough luck all season. Even when Luka was there, he missed for the last few weeks as a Maverick because of that calf injury, if we remember. So Dallas has not had great luck with injuries this year. I hope it gets better, and hopefully they're healthier towards the second half of the season as we finish from midway point. Not a really good game last night was we had two overtime games actually, but we had a 149-148 Knicks win over the Hawks, where Brunson and Towns combined for 80 points. Huge game from them. But again, and I keep talking about this, the only thing I don't like about that game for New York was just how many minutes the starters played. 40-some minutes apiece for everyone in that starting lineup. Even Precious Achiuwa, that's normally a bench guy, because of OG Anunoby missing a few games with an injury, he played over 40-some minutes. It's just a lot for all your players to play. I bet they're happy that they're heading into the All-Star break, get some time rest up in hell. But if you're Thibodeau, you think this next part of the season, you think about using your bench more, in my opinion. On Atlanta's side, we had Trae Young had a really good game. George Niang and Karis LeVert, their new acquisitions, combined for 41 points. And yeah, just all around really good basketball game. And I'm seeing something with the Hawks. We're starting to see that fight again. After people thought they were going to stop the tank by trading off Hunter and Bogdanovich, but they didn't. They did stop the tank, and they're still competing, and I like it. I like what I'm seeing from Atlanta. They're a tough out. You really don't want to see them if they somehow make it in the playoffs, because they won't win the series, but they'll at least take a game or two, in my opinion, because Trae Young loves the spotlight. He loves that moment. So yeah, number one and number two teams don't want to see Atlanta, in my opinion. Trae Young loves that spotlight. Looking elsewhere on games last night, we had Denver pick up a victory over Portland. We had Milwaukee without Dame and Giannis beat Minnesota. Minnesota's lost a couple straight now. Julius Randle's still out, still dealing with an injury, but I actually think the offense has been looking better without Randle as of late. But hey, I don't know, maybe they're turning the corner. Kyle Kuzma had 19. Brook Lopez had a couple free throws to seal the game for Milwaukee. And we also had Cleveland beat Toronto by 23. Would have been 21, but Tristan got that dunk. And yes, it started an uproar because Toronto did feeling like Cleveland was trying rubby in their face. And I think that was it. I think Tristan's from Canada. I think he probably had family members or friends in the audience, and he probably wanted to at least give them at least one nice dunk or something like that. But I could be wrong, but I just have a feeling that's it, and I think it's probably taken out of context. And at the end of the day, as Austin Carr said on that call, when he's calling it, if you don't want what you feel disrespect to happen, play better. Toronto has to play better. If they don't want to feel like they're being disrespected, come out and give it to the top team in the East. Give it to Cleveland. Play better. Beat Cleveland, or make it a game where a dunk like that means something. But the fact that you did, you can't be mad, in my opinion. But hey, that's just my opinion on the fact. Everybody has their own opinion on it, but I just think, hey, play better. And I also think, what's the context? Was he doing it for his family? Or did someone say something? Was he doing it rubby in your face? I don't know, but if you look more towards the context, I think you'll probably find he was probably just doing to impress family or friends that he knows in Canada. But who knows? We also had... We had Brooklyn beat the Sixers last night. Sixers have lost 5 straight. Just when you think hey, they're getting Embiid and again Maxey and again George on the floor together. Those guys have played until last night. They had played 4 straight games and lost 4 straight games together. I don't think Philly has it this year. I think it's probably best coming out of All-Star break to shut Embiid down for the season. He said he probably will have to get knee surgery again. I think let him get knee surgery and shut him down. Hopefully have him healthy for next year. This season's not going anywhere. And Maxey, the last game he played, he had a bad game. Paul George last night, he had a really bad game. Philly needs to figure something out. I'm not really sure what it is to figure out at this point in the season. But Paul George is saying he's dealing with an injury. If he's dealing with an injury, let him rest too. I mean, the season's not going anywhere. And these guys try and play through injuries. It's not helping the team. They're still losing. So I say just let them go out, west up, hill, come back next season, try win, try being playoff pitcher, try being championship pitcher. You have good enough players to be there. So I just think like this season's not it. And I think you come back next year more powered, maybe more healthy, and you get something done and you make a statement. But that's I don't know. That's just something I really think they should do because, like I said, this team's they're just not going anywhere this year. And it's watching them play, there's not unity on that team. Like if you watch it, they're not together. Like if you see Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid together, you're seeing a different team. We're not seeing them together. We're not seeing them gel. We're also not really seeing them on the court long enough to gel. A lot of injuries, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of this. We saw Kelly Oubre and Joel Embiid argue a few games back. It's like you don't want that. Like that. Apparently, it's just not good locker room atmosphere in Philly. And congratulations to the Eagles for winning the Super Bowl, but the Philadelphia 76ers are so far away from winning an NBA championship right now, it's not even funny. And they were supposed to be close, so it'll be interesting to see where we go from there for the Sixers. But like I said, I think you just shut players down and you come back next season. Well, that'll do it for today. Come back on Friday for our All-Star preview episode. That's going to be a fun one.